What's up, y'all? This is Max, aka Paul Whites, and this is the third iteration of Guard Academy. As y'all might know, probably just from if you play 2K or not, Season 4 just came out, and with every season, obviously, there's new rewards, but there's also new animations. So I think I'm probably gonna wait till next episode, which I'm probably gonna release in the next few days. For the Dribble tutorial, just so I can, see all the animations, test them out to see, are they even effective? Would they be meta? All that stuff. And I'm not gonna just give you guys a bunch of new animations for season 4, and then in a few weeks you realize, oh, these are trash. I can't get open. They're not fast. Whatever. So I'm gonna hold off. Probably wait a week, maybe around a few days. I'm gonna test it, and also, most of the comp scene that plays 2K is on Twitter, so they'll probably post their own, dribble tutorials, and I might test out their animations too. So it's kind of a community, and I'm glad I'm in this community where I can just, compare and contrast. So today though we're doing sorry, cut this part out. Today we're doing this is my new point guard build. So my last episode is, so today guys, we're gonna be doing 6'9". This is my big point guard build. In the last video I made the Pro-Am point guard build, like what they do in Pro-Am, and when they play for money, that was a build. And I bet a lot of you that watch this are confused about the defense and stuff. And I mean, to be fair, like in most meta Pro-Am situations, the point guard doesn't have any defense. It has 0 defense. So but today this is kind of my iteration of a demigod build. So even though this season there isn't any gameplay rewards, I might still play a little bit of Park. I mainly only play Pro-Am, so most seasons I've only ever gotten to like level 5. Last season I got level 40 because of the core badge patterns, but probably not this season because there isn't any. Besides, the one badge point at level 39. But yeah, so this would be my point guard build for Park and online, whatever. So just a disclaimer. Like, this isn't a demigod build. I have an actual demigod build that is kind of like this a little bit. It has a higher 3 ball, which it may confuse you. But like this one will have an 83 3 ball, just to let you guys know, for the Silver Agent 3s. And then the other point guard build I have, the demigod that can guard the 1 through 5, has a 92, so it gets gold limitless, gold agent. So it's a better shooter, but I don't really like the way I made it. I kind of messed up the playmaking and the finishing. It doesn't have good finishing at all. So yeah, this is my new. I actually just made this build 2 days ago, and I'm working on it right now. Yesterday actually. But I've seen a few YouTubers make videos kind of around the same build, but I kind of made it in my own. In my own way, because a lot of other creators don't really make builds the way I do. So I kind of put it to fit my play style, but also like where it can still be meta and effective. I try to make my builds where it's the most has the highest skill gap. So if I do make a Park build like this, not a Pro-Am build because that's not really an arguable way for builds, that's just meta. But if I make a build like this for point guard, I'm gonna make it so I can account for the most skill gap possible. So I'm maxing out the animations that don't have a skill gap and more of a randomized effect to it. That might seem kind of confusing, but I'm going to kind of explain it to you a little bit just so you guys can understand. My name is Max. You guys already know that by now. Big Max. Position, point guard, handedness, left, right, either way. 74, because one of my favorite movies is Blindside, and I used to play football, so yeah. Obviously I just said height 6'9", weight is 187, so I think the minimum weight for this build is 185. Yeah, 185 for the weight, but 187 because you can go up 2, but if you go up to 188, you'll lose on the 1XL at the bottom. I don't want to mess with any of these settings because it has all my stuff preset to the right already. I'm just gonna go through and explain it all to y'all pretty effectively and briefly if I can. 188, and you get the acceleration to an 80 instead of an 81, which you don't really want. Wingspan, the max for the 6'9s this year for point guards, I think, is 7'7". You know, which you can do, but 7'6", just 1 inch shorter on your wingspan, you get the 83, which I said earlier is a Silver Agent 3s. Body shape defined doesn't really matter. I'll let you guys on in a little secret. It doesn't. I'm not sure it matters at all, but again, I'm not gonna mess with it. But you can test this for yourselves if you guys want. So the different body shapes actually, again, even though if you keep it on the same wingspan, they actually, this is a little secret that I learned from Twitter and Pro-Am and all the nerds that sit in this builder for an hour a day or whatever every single day. Like they know all the tips and tricks, but I use Define because I don't want to mess with it, but it gives you an actually like a very like a half an inch or an inch longer wingspan, it looks, and it may not be different in game, but Defined, in my opinion, I think gives you the longest wingspan. If you put it on Burley or something else, like his arms, even if it's at the same height, is going to go up like half of an inch. So I don't know if it means anything, but I don't know. Longer wingspan without losing any attributes, that sounds like a cool thing to me to do. So yeah. So here's the badge spread. 18, 18, 21, and 18. So when I see badge videos, I'm always confused. So what do I put the +4 on and all that stuff? So I'm just gonna, and they never usually tell it. They might have hid it in the video or something. But what I did is, I think I've written down because I write it on my sheet of paper. Yeah. For this +4, I did 1 finishing and 3 shooting, and you'll see why. And that I'll explain it later. I wouldn't do this right away, the +3 and 1 for finishing and shooting right away, because I put it as how I did it on my core badge pattern, because I actually changed it from the basic. And I can show you all at the end what the badge would look like if you didn't change it. So 18 finishing, close shot 75. So I got 18 because it was at 75. It was originally at 75 when I was just messing around with it, but you got 1 more close shot, and I went to 17, 18. So even though I only need 17 to get the +10, you know, for the tier 1 and 2, and the tier 3 you get the 7, so that's 17. But I got 18 just for an extra one, I guess. Fast twitch. So I think when I completely finish it and core everything, it'll be gold posterizer, silver fast twitch, and then like limitless. I'll show you all in a second what I do. Driving layup 88. I mean, before I made this build, a few days ago, I never really worried about layup. Like, I'd only use Jason Williams on my point guard, which is like a 75 driving layup required, and it's a really good layup package. I do like it because it's like a weird float or flick thing, and it's really you can't. When I see a point guard use it against me as a center or someone trying to block it, you can never time it because they're just flicking it up behind their body. You can never see it. It's pretty cool, but it is kind of awkward sometimes to use. But 88, you get long athlete, which obviously is the best layup package in the game. It is, again, you need 88 is a lot, but you not only get fearless finisher with 87 driving layup, but also you get the long athlete. So I'd put it +1 more. Driving dunk. I've never really been a flasher this year. Like, if you've seen one of my other build videos, but pretty much all my builds that I made this year, I made a lot of point guards, but these and centers don't really have that big. They're not really finisher builds. Besides by my inside center and my point guard. It's just my inside center, really. That's really a pure finisher. I don't know. I'm not really someone that just dunks a lot. Like, if I can do quick drops, that's cool, but I've always been satisfied with that. And I've had a few builds in the past that have like a really big finishing, and I'm just like, I don't know. But I think I'm gonna have way more fun playing. Like, I'm not gonna be a rim runner, but just being able to posterize and do these things more easily instead of having to sometimes get taken out your animation. Driving dunk 93 to get gold posterizer, as it says. And 80 was it 86? Yeah, 86 driving dunk you get gold limitless. So yeah. Yeah. Standing dunk 61, didn't get anything. Next, shooting. Shooting 83, shooting like I said. Silver blinders. Limitless range. I was thinking about putting it on 85, but I would have not only had to put more attributes into it, but I also would have taken a wingspan. So put one, maybe even two. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just like this year I saw like 2K Labs and they made other videos about limitless range. Like in past years, limitless range would let you shoot from farther, but according to statistics from 2K Labs, limitless range actually doesn't help you shoot like from further out. It just ups that percentage. So even though like I have bronze limitless, I could shoot from like silver limitless from past years. It would just go in less. If I still timed it, I could still have a chance of hitting it. It's like past years, if you didn't have Hall of Fame limitless or limitless at all, you couldn't shoot from beyond the half court line, or at the half court line, or at the hash, unless you had limitless on gold or whatever. This year I can shoot from there. It's just a less percentage. It's possible, but 18 for this build. Just to get the silver blinders, and you could court for like, limitless probably. Again, I'll show you all the badges after I'm done explaining this. I think originally it was at 69 or 70 mid-range, but I upped it to 1 or 2 to get more mid-range, and also I get from 17 to 18 shooting. So yeah, playmaking. Sorry. So I did 76 speed with ball. I'll just start with speed with ball. You need 75 speed with ball to get like all the good dribble styles. Michael Jordan, the one that just came out, John Morant, all that stuff. But one extra, why not? Also ball handle, 87. So what I was talking about, my last demigod build, that build I only put the 85 ball handling, so I still got good, dribble animations, and if I literally just put the ball handling to +2 more, I would have gotten gold claim breaker, which I think the 2K Lab is way better, really good jump. Excuse me, sorry. So yeah, I messed that up. Pass accuracy 78. Just was it 75? LeBron James. So the higher pass accuracy is the faster passes are gonna go. So 75, 78, a little more zip on the pass, zip on the whip, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, defense. So 18 defense here. Yeah, so interior defense, I didn't mess with this, even though it just brought it up by itself. I'll just show you guys what I did mess with. And like interior actually went with the block. So perimeter defense, got this 86, and I get silver clamps. Yeah. Also with that, I think 86, you get gold challenger with that. Steel 78. I see some other content creators put it on 58, so they're like, oh, you don't need steel and all that stuff. And how I see it is like, I think steel is one of the most important things in this game. And I see a lot of people that aren't really that knowledgeable about the game aren't comp. The biggest thing I see, the first the first thing I noticed that I see, at least defensively, to tell if someone's good or not at the game, if they know what they're doing, is if they're in the lanes. And they might seem like, oh, it's just, oh, you get a lucky steal, whatever. You can tell when someone's, at least in my opinion, it depends what build they're on, but just even on a decent steal build, you can tell if someone's good or not at the pretty much after the first 2 or 3 minutes if you watch how they play defensively, even if they're not dribbling and getting themselves open off of a point guard. But I think watching them play the lanes is that can make or break any, like, for at least for me to see if someone's good or not. 58 steal, because steal is not really important to them, they say, but it's like, I think those are the people that don't press buttons, and that's a slang. If you ever tune into my Twitch stream, I'll put that in the link, and then I said in the link in the description. Sometimes, or just any pro-am player, they'll say, "We not pressing buttons," or "They not pressing buttons." Pretty much what that means is they're not, like this year in 2K and past 2Ks, you could, if you had a 99 steal with Hall of Fame interceptor, the ball could literally just go at you and hit your head or hit your body, and it would sometimes just do it automatically. If you didn't time the steal or you didn't think they were going to throw it at you, sometimes they would steal the ball for you, and you wouldn't have to press anything. This year, sometimes a rare time where it just hits the opponent's head and they can catch it, it's stupid. But besides by that, it doesn't matter what your steal rating is. You could have 99 steal and Hall of Fame interceptor, and the ball could go literally at your chest. If you're not pressing X, you were not getting that ball. So I think that's another thing they added this year that made it more, skillful and had a more skill gap. You can have the best steal in the world, and if you're not pressing buttons, it's one of my pet peeves. It's like I've watched people that have locks like in rec, and I'm trying to streak up and get level 40. And there's so many times last season where I've seen people that have like an 80, 90 win percentage. You think they're good. I mean, they get carried most of the time. They don't shoot good from the 3, but they have like a 90 steal with like gold interceptor, and when we're playing a zone or man, whatever, they're getting cut on 30 times a possession, and we always have to collapse and block it because the point guard has seen that his man is cutting, and nobody in the whole world is pressing X when they throw that cut and the ball goes at their head, and they know it's gonna go through them because they're not gonna press X. So but when I play rec, I get almost 10 steals, and almost all of them now are from lane steals because I'm pressing X. And most point guards have gotten used to, in real life, I'm gonna throw this terrible pass right at the defender pretty much. But since they don't press X, they're not gonna get the steal or square, whatever. So it's like, real life, it's a terrible representation, but this game isn't really, you can't really say that. But yeah, I'm like, bro, the ball's going at your face, and you're getting mad at me for saying just press X. Like it's so simple to just press a button, and yeah. So I'm sorry, I went on a pretty long stint about steal. The 78 steal, silver interceptor, block. Sorry, that kind of slowed that down. I'll try to speed it up a little bit. Try to explain this better. Block 87 block. For 87 block, you get silver anchor. Probably core this and maybe get pogo stick silver. Yeah. Defensive rebounding. This is one of the biggest things I was contemplating when I was making this build. Do I put it 70 just to get the rebound chaser bronze? I'm like, rebound chaser bronze, even if it's just 5 more, would be really nice. But I don't think I'd even use it. So, like, you see later, I'm gonna explain this briefly later. But you see my vertical, it's 84. Like vertical shouldn't bail out just rebounding in general, but my vertical is almost maxed. So I don't think wasting extra points to take off other things instead of just not pushing my rebound up 5, not even use rebound chaser. So I kept it there. Yeah, I think this, in my opinion, this build is perfect for my play style, and I think for most of you guys, this would be really nice. Like, again, there's some things you could adjust. If you're not really a point guard, you can bring the ball handling down to 70 or 80 and get the basic LeBron James step backs, all that stuff, and upgrade other things like defense. Like, you could make this a back end build. You don't have to be a playmaker. And there's other things you could mess with. You could bring down the defense, like the block down or the interior defense or whatever, and you could put way more on just pure defense, or get more playmaking or finishing. If you're like, in your group and you only play perimeter on defense, you're not really playing the pit center. This build, in my opinion, could grab the 1 through the 5. And again, like I said on my last demigod build that I didn't show you guys, but it has a 92.3. So and it has way more shooting. So it gets gold limitless, gold blinders, gold agent 3s, all that stuff. But I didn't really want to, how do I put this? I feel like, in my opinion, even though I'm not really playing online and it's not really that competitive to me, when I see, Pro Am, my new point guard build has a 97, 99 3 ball with Hall of Fame agent 3s, all that stuff that I showed you guys in the last video. But like in rec or something, when I'm just chilling, and most of the people I play with aren't nearly as good as in Pro Am when they're playing for money. You don't need a 99.3 ball as a point guard. You can get away with bronze on this stuff and that. Most of the time we're going to be ISOing, so you don't need gold blinders. I still get silver agent 3s, yeah, but like these things that, like, I feel like, in my opinion, I'm confident in my ability and my skill to play the game, where I don't need these gold shooting badges. I can get away with silver. I could still, cook people from pretty much the hash and break them down and shoot over screens, shoot ISO, whatever. I'm confident that I'm able to do that because most people don't have the experience to do that in part. Because again, it's not nearly as comp. So I took that down way more. I upped the wingspan by 8 inches on my other 6'9" point guard, and I put it way more on defense and other things that mattered. Like my other point guard build, 6'9", had like 80 driving it, so it barely got drops, and it was kind of bad. So yeah, in my opinion, this build is probably the best demigod build for my playstyle. If you want to upgrade your 3-point and you're like, I want to, if you want to play the 92-3 ball, you can mess with that and bring down the finishing a little bit, whatever. I think, since I've gotten pretty good at this game, and most of the time when I'm using this build, I'm not going to be playing comp. I don't think I really need that stuff. So, yeah. Takeover, you get slash, shot, sharpshooting, playmaking, and lock. So I had these takeovers for my career. I use certain ones for my career. Like I wouldn't ever really use team badge in online. Limitless, always my primary takeover for my career or not. And then second take, I might use Limitless too, just so I can shoot from way far or, again, I talked about it in my last build. I think the enhanced jump shot, not good. These two are really good. And finishing moves, I think, is the best finishing. I never really used slashing takeover because, again, I haven't really had a slasher. So, yeah. I'll show you guys the badges just real quick. Yeah, cool. Badges real quick. Yeah, so I as I mentioned earlier about the discrepancy. So I told you guys earlier that I hit level 40. I finally hit level 40 for last season, and this new season just came out. So it doesn't show it here. It won't let me change it here on the test thing. But for my forgot what I did. I think it was double playmaking. I think it was double playmaking. So for the core badge pattern, I got, because there's only one that had shooting on it. So I got 1 finishing, 2 playmaking, and 1 defense. So that's why I did 3 on the shooting, cause I get 21. Because if I just had 18, I'd get because I wanted amped or mini magician, I'd get 5 here, 4 here. But I needed 1 more. I'd get like amped, core, limitless, and then I could get like I forgot what else I put here. Was it Deadeye? I think. Yeah, because I think I wanted gold Deadeye. I'm trying to remember. Or did I don't completely remember. Yeah, I think it was like gold Deadeye. So it's 3, and then I got +3 here. That would work. Oh wait, I cored it. I'm stupid. Oh my gosh. Bro, I feel embarrassed. Oh my gosh. I cored it. I'm like, why have I had so many points? Yeah, so +3 here. So there'd be no core here. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I just had the worst brain fart ever. +3 here, so you have 2 left, and +3 here to get 5 limitless bronze. So, because I'm not coring anything here. Finishing, I'd core. I told you guys earlier, core gold posterizer. This works perfectly because I can just get these +2 on gold. Gold posterizer, fast twitch, and I have +2 extra. And then I told you about the +1 finishing. I have silver slither. I had like 1 more on finishing. So, again, the way I have it, I think is perfect for the core badge pattern. I think like there's nothing really wrong you could go with. I think this build is perfect. Yeah. Again, I'm gonna show you guys the way I'd have it set up for my core badge pattern. If you guys want to do that, and then after I'll show you guys. Like if you don't have that, if you just have the basic, I'll show you what I do for the +4. All that stuff. Gold quick first step, gold hyperdrive, bronze bailout. I said I'd double core it here, yeah. So I'd core these 2, and would be that 10 left, 6 here, and then maybe like silver needle threader. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Defense. So 5 here. Boom. What I had bronze workout. Yeah. So just 1 core here. I'm trying to remember what I did. Silver anchor, 4. Yeah, right. And then I had like silver, so I think the most important badges for this build is anchor, because you're a demigod, or you can do pogo stick. Either one works. I just like anchor more. Challenger, I think, because I have a high vertical. You'd have a high vertical if you made this. Yeah. So you'd recover quicker, in my opinion. Challenger, I think they recently buffed this, or just I saw a video on it where it made it really. I thought it was really good. Anchor, Challenger Gold, Chase downs are really bad this year, but I think with a higher vertical and a good chase down, that works. Silver Clams, obviously, Silver Interceptor, that's why we got the high steal. Workhorse on bronze, I think, is one of the best badges. Just as a bronze badge, it's one of the most budget badges. And for some of my builds, this might seem crazy. I actually invest this over a lot of other builds. So, yeah. So this is the way I'd set it up for the double playmaking that I showed you. I'm gonna revert everything and showed you what I do, just the basics. So this is one finish, just the basic things. Yeah. So this doesn't really change. Actually, let me see. I'd still want +1 for finishing. So that wouldn't change. +1 for finishing. Okay, let me see this. Obviously, I talked about amps. I like amps bronze, so I didn't talk about this. The other two are self-explanatory. I also saw another 2K Lab videos. I just want to say 2K Lab is one of the best YouTube channels out there for 2K. Bronze amped from nothing to bronze is like, I think, one of the biggest percentage jumps I've ever seen in any badge ever. Bronze amped, core that, limitless, and then yeah, because I was confused earlier. Maybe guard up. Guard ups isn't really that good. I don't know. Volume shooter. If you shoot a lot, that's cool. If not, you could do clutch. Clicked out of it. Clutch shooter gold, whatever. Yeah, or corner specialist, whatever you guys want. Yeah, I don't think I do any plus. Again, I haven't really messed with this part, but I'm going along with it and showing you guys. Quick first step, bronze. Boom, boom, boom. Record this. Okay, so I think, yeah. Is this right? Yeah, because this is the setup I do. And you have 3+ and you need 3 more. So I think, yeah, so the only thing you change is for the +3 on shooting and do +3 on playmaking. That makes sense, right? Yeah. Yeah, and then this doesn't change at all because you were only changing shooting and finishing. So yeah, so it's if you have this set up, +3 on playmaking instead of the one I did +3 shooting. Wow, this video is very long, 27 minutes. That is crazy. But in my opinion, this video, if you stay through the whole time, I applaud you. This is a very long video going completely very in depth about everything about this build. Which again, in my opinion, is probably the best build in the game you can make right now. It has a mixture of everything, and not the highest 3 ball, but definitely doable. I mean, Silver Agent 3s is still really good. You get the mellow ball jump shot, all that good stuff. Yeah, very long video. Next video, I think I'm planning on doing again, like I said earlier, the dribble tutorial. Yeah, I just had to wait I'm just gonna wait a few days till meta starts forming for season 4 about the new dribble animations, because there are a lot of good dribble animations. Again, if you guys want to see a very detailed, basic, advanced dribble tutorial, drop a like and leave a comment, and that's coming very soon. Yeah. Again, best build video. Thank you for staying all the way around, through the whole thing, through everything. But thank you guys. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night, and peace.